Hello, and welcome to my presentation. Today I'm going to be talking about the analyze and improve portion of my project. And the name of my project is the efficiencies of replacing an 8-ounce burger to two 4-ounce burgers in a short order kitchen. So to define my project's problem, in the past, all the food in my short order kitchen that I manage takes about 6 to 8 minutes to prepare, except our 8-ounce burgers. They take much longer. So my reason to decide to switch to two 4-ounce patties was because it'll hit the window once it's cooked around the same time as all the other food. So that would be a little bit easier for me, but a little bit less stress on the employees and things like that. And it might be a little bit more consistent. Also, they might be ordered more because instead of ordering an 8-ounce burger, which is a huge commitment, they can order a 4-ounce patty or just two 4-ounce patties as a burger. So just a little background on the workplace. It's a university campus pub. Patrons are the university staff, students, faculty, and alumni. The restaurant is composed of 85 plus students. There's a high turnover rate, and most students come in with no work experience at all. So what I measured was from September 3rd to September 24th, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. And the items that were measured include customer feedback of the 8-ounce burgers versus the 4-ounce burgers, amount ordered of the 8-ounce burgers versus the 4-ounce burgers, and ticket times to produce the 8-ounce burgers versus the 4-ounce burgers. So what we have here is the initial data. On the top left, you'll see the quarter-pound burgers ordered, which range from 6 to 12 minutes. On the top right, you'll notice that there is the 8-ounce burgers ordered, which range from 8 to 14 minutes to make. And on the bottom left, the customer feedback range from 1 to 3, most of them being a 3. And the bottom right, 8-ounce burgers also range from 1 to 3, most of them being a 3. 3 meaning will have it again, 2 meaning may have it again, and 1 meaning will not have it again. So a quick summary of the measurements I initially took. Customer feedback survey implied that the consumers both liked the 8-ounce burgers and the 4-ounce burgers, not a significant difference. The amount ordered was 158 for the 8-ounce burgers and 186 for the 4-ounce burgers. Again, not a huge significant difference. And finally, the ticket times were for the 8-ounce burgers were 12 to 14 minutes, and for the 4-ounce burgers were 10 to 12 minutes. So I did not initially get my answer if switching to a 4-ounce patty was actually, in fact, a good idea. So I needed to do something else. And what I did was I employed a box chart root cause analysis. And what I determined was that we had to refund money sometimes, but that was rooted from some customer complaints. And customer complaints rooted from the burgers taking too long during service sometimes. And sometimes the food would come out late and the orders were missing and they would mishandle checks. And maybe there was not enough direction, and when they're busy, the prep would lag, and maybe the burgers were overdone or underdone, and there was not enough people training, or there was too many untrained employees, and the root of all of it seemed to be that there was just a limited amount of employee experience. So I decided to focus on that. My improvements entailed employing a 2-day employee training to instruct on operational steps to cook the patties. Placed a list also next to the grill to ensure the procedure of cooking the patties was efficient. This all began on October 6th, and this is still ongoing because this is a day-to-day thing that does not end. The employees need to be trained, and that is what I determined is the biggest hurdle in my project, training the employees. So what we're looking at here are the quarter-pound burgers, as stated previously, that were ordered from September 3rd to September 24th. And on the right is a comparison from September 25th until November 7th, today's date. And what you'll notice with this comparison is since our improvement on October 6th, although we recorded data before that, since our improvement, the range is significantly smaller. So the range for burgers, for quarter-pound burgers, is 6 to 9 minutes now, as opposed to 6 to 12 minutes as they were before. Now, if we take a look at the 8-ounce burgers, you'll notice the same. The range for 8-ounce burgers ordered within September 3rd to September 24th are 8 to 14 minutes. Then from September 25th till November 7th, you'll notice with an improvement somewhere in between there. On October 6th, the range is much smaller, between 12 to 14 minutes, and most of it coming within 12 to 13 minutes, as you'll notice the frequency. So what I'm beginning to notice is there are some more consistencies after employee. So here we have a comparison of the customer feedback survey, both the quarter-pound burgers and the 8-ounce burgers. If you'll notice, beginning around 105 surveys or 100 surveys, it becomes closer to the range of 2 and 3. So this is all the surveys that have been taken, which have been 121 surveys. You'll notice towards the end of the surveys, they become more consistent with the survey value of 2 and of 3, as opposed to before, in the first portion of the surveys, for both the quarter-pound burgers on the left and the 8-ounce burgers on the right, they're kind of all over the place. So there's 1s and 2s and 3s and all over the place. But towards the end of it, it starts to get really... So here we have a control chart for the quarter-pound burgers ordered, and these are all the quarter-pound burgers ordered in my project. What you'll notice is in the beginning there's quite a few jumps, and some of the time limits being close to the upper control limit. And then, as you'll notice, around 153 burgers ordered in the bottom. From then on until about 225, it becomes a lot more. And so here we have the 8-ounce burgers. Same deal. These are all the 8-ounce burgers ordered throughout the duration of my whole project. And you'll notice around 161 to 177, it kind of teeters with that upper control limit. There's a jump, but that can be just part of the training process with these bigger patties. But then you can see it becomes a lot more consistent after that as well. Consistent. And finally, we have the burgers sold comparison. So towards the middle of the page, you'll see that in October, the quarter-pound burgers that were ordered were 954, and the 8-ounce burgers that were ordered there on the bottom right were 853. So a little bit more quarter-pound burgers that were ordered, but it seems like, from what I can tell, the burgers are being enjoyed by the customers and the employees are being trained. So to summarize and to tell you about a little bit more about the future work, the data was analyzed on October 5th, and although the data did not show significant improvements on the initial project of changing the 8-ounce burgers to 4-ounce burgers potentially, I employed a root cause analysis, and from that I determined that the employees needed to be trained a little bit better. So that began on October 6th. Comparisons were made to determine the improvements had a positive effect thus far, as you can see with some of the data. And the next step in my project is to continue monitoring and further implement some standard operating procedures so that the improvements can remain consistent. And finally, the deadline date to wrap up my project is going to be December 9th. So hope you enjoyed, and thank you very much.